Any girl can be glamorous. All you have to do is stand still and look stupid. While that may not sound nice, but if anyone had the right to say so, it was Hedy Lamarr, a perfect combination of beauty and creativity. She was a glamorous movie star by day and a mastermind of a scientific revolution by night. Though Lamarr is best known as one of the most iconic actresses of her day, there is a part of her life that almost no one knew about. Like to find out? Follow this video to the end, hit the subscribe button for 7 years of great luck, and comment, "I subscribed," and we will try our best to get back to you. Her real name wasn't Hedy Lamarr. While she is well known as Hedy Lamarr, her real name was Hedwig Eva Maria Keisler, the only child of Emil Keisler, a bank director, and Gertrude, a pianist. Though the Keislers were ethnically Jewish, Gertrude converted to Catholicism and raised Keisler as one. However, when Austria was annexed into Nazi Germany, Gertrude petitioned to become a naturalized American citizen, claiming her Jewish ancestry. As a child, Keisler showed an interest in acting and was fascinated by theater and film, and at the age of 12, she won a beauty contest in Vienna. She also began to associate intervention with her father, who would take her out on walks, explaining how various technologies in society functioned, which later part of her legacy. She joined Sasha Film as a teen. To further in her acting career, Keisler took acting classes in Vienna, and one day she forged a permission note from her mother and went to Sasha Film, where she was hired at the age of 16 as a script girl, and very quickly she gained a role as an extra in the 1930 Money on the Street, and a small speaking part in 1931 Storm in Water Class. Moving on, producer Max Reinhardt cast her in a play entitled The Weaker Sex, which was performed at the theater in Der Josefstadt. Reinhardt was so impressed with her that he arranged for her to return with him to Berlin, where he was based. There, Keisler landed her first major role, starring alongside a young Peter Lorre in The Trunks of Mr. O.F. She acted out the first on-screen orgasm. On 20th January 1933, Keisler was given the lead in Gustav Macchietti's film, Ecstasy, which premiered in Prague, where she played the sensational role of a neglected young wife of an indifferent older man. Ecstasy became the very first film to depict not just a sexual scene, but a female orgasm. The scandal intensified when reporters discovered that Lamarr was only 17 when the movie was filmed. The movie gained world recognition after winning an award in Rome. Throughout Europe, the film was regarded as an artistic work. However, in the United States, it was banned, considered overly sexual, and made the target of negative publicity, especially among women's groups. It was also banned in Germany due to Keisler's Jewish heritage. After that scene, there had been a strange story behind Lamarr's O-face during Ecstasy's controversial sex scene. The film's director poked Lamarr in her rear end with a pin to achieve the desired look. Despite being Jewish, she married a fascist. Despite her Jewish heritage, Keisler married a fascist in August 1933 when she was just 19 years old. Friedrich Fritz Mandl, a munitions manufacturer, was one of the richest men in Austria. Mandel's father was Jewish, but his mother was Catholic, leading Mandl to convert to Catholicism. While Lamarr had already been raised Christian, this wasn't enough for Mandl. When they married, he demanded that Keisler officially convert. It may go without saying that Lamarr's parents did not approve of the match. Her husband spent over $300,000 to destroy copies of Ecstasy. Among his many other faults, Mandl was intensely jealous. After his marriage to Keisler, he traveled Europe, buying and destroying every copy of Ecstasy that he could find. Despite his vigorous efforts and spending over $300,000 on his quest to eliminate the movie, Mandl failed. His friends like Benito Mussolini refused to part with their copies. After all this time, you can still watch the movie today. She disguised as a maid and escaped to Paris. On a verge to get released from Mandl's jealousy and controlling behavior, the actress fled Austria using her performance skill. Keisler claims that she disguised herself as a maid and escaped to Paris. where she finally got a divorce from her awful first husband. Other sources insist that Keisler did something that's maybe even more impressive. The story goes that Keisler wore all of her expensive jewels to a dinner event and then ran off into the night. She adopted the stage name Lamarr. After arriving in London in 1937, she met Louis B. Mayer, head of MGM, who was scouting for talent in Europe. Mayer persuaded her to change her name from Hedwig Keisler to distance herself from the Ecstasy lady reputation associated with it. She chose the surname Lamarr in homage to the beautiful silent film star Barbara Lamarr, on the suggestion of Mayer's wife, Margaret Schinberg. When Mayer brought Lamarr to Hollywood in 1938, he began promoting her as the world's most beautiful woman. She participated in a war bond selling campaign. Lamarr wanted to join the National Inventors Council, but was reportedly told by an NIC member, Charles F. Kittering, and others that she could better help the war effort by using her celebrity status to sell war bonds. She participated in a war bond selling campaign with a sailor named Eddie Rhodes. Rhodes was in the crowd at each Lamarr appearance, and she would call him up on stage. She would briefly flirt with him before asking the audience if she should kiss him. The crowd would say yes, to which Hedy would reply that she would if people bought war bonds. After enough bonds were purchased, she would kiss Rhodes and he would head back into the audience. Then they would head off to the next war bond rally. In total, Lamarr sold approximately $25 million, over $350 million in 2020, worth of war bonds for 10 days. She played Bible Delilah. Lamarr enjoyed her greatest success playing Delilah opposite Victor Mature as the biblical strongman in the 1949 Cecil B. DeMille's Samson and Delilah, a massive critical and commercial success. The film also won 2 Academy Awards for Best Art Direction and Best Costume Design. She won critical acclaim for her portrayal of Delilah. Showman's Trade Review previewed the film before its release and commended Lamarr's performance. She co-invented the 1940s wireless technology. In 1942, at the peak of her acting career, Hedy developed a secret communication system to help defeat the Nazis in World War II alongside her friend, composer, and pianist George Antheil. By manipulating radio frequencies at irregular intervals between transmission and reception, the invention formed an unbreakable code to prevent classified messages from being intercepted by the enemy. Lamarr's patented idea later became the foundation for mobile phone technology, whose influence is visible in the 21st century systems as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. She became the first woman to receive Oscar for invention. In 1997, Lamarr became the first female recipient of the Invention Convention's Bowlby Noss Spirit of Achievement Award, a prestigious lifetime accomplishment prize for inventors often referred to as the Oscar for invention. She didn't receive a penny for her invention. Lamarr and Antheil failed to produce a device that could effectively jump frequencies, but the idea was enough to secure a patent. In 1942, the U.S. Patent Office granted Hedy Keisler Marquis Patent 2.92.387. However, it was technologically difficult to implement, and at the time, the U.S. Navy was not receptive to considering inventions coming from outside of the military. In the end, she didn't receive a penny for her incredible invention, even though it would be worth around $30 billion today. She died of heart disease. Lamarr died in Castleberry, Florida on January 19, 2000, of heart disease, age 85. According to her wishes, she was cremated, and her son Anthony Loder spread her ashes. In 2014, Lamarr was given an honorary grave in Vienna's Central Cemetery, where the remaining portion of her ashes was buried in November, shortly before her 100th birthday. Which of this fact interests you the most? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoy this video, do give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, hit the bell button, and subscribe for more interesting videos.